For decades, there's been an ongoing conversation of whether you should tune your kicks to the key of your song or not. My name is Nathan, and in today's video I'm going to show you why tuning kicks is not only stupid, but also can be pretty harmful for your mixing. To begin with, we have to first understand what a kick is and how it's actually made. And since not many people know about this, I'm going to show you a simple example here. And this will also answer the question if kicks even have a key. Let's have a closer look at this kick here that I synthesized with Serum. By definition, a kick has a constantly falling pitch. This is what makes it punch. So if I play back this kick here, you can see in envelope 2, which is linked to the main pitch, that the pitch is falling from very high to very low. If I drag this up here, you can see that the sound becomes a long note and it's not a kick anymore. If I put it back to where it was before, it sounds like a kick again. But how on earth are kicks key labeled in a lot of sample packs if they don't actually have a key? Well, while the entire kick doesn't really have a pitch, there's a part that stays on a note longer, and that is the end of the kick. You can see that the speed of the waveform isn't changing that fast anymore at the end of the kick, and it almost stays on the same pitch. It's still changing the pitch, but this is what people consider to be the key of the kick. But in conclusion, a key actually doesn't have a kick. Okay, wait, I think I actually just messed that up. So what I meant was that a kick doesn't have a key, not the other way around. Alright, let's get going further. There's just this long tonal part at the end of the kick. So now that you know that kicks actually don't have a key, I'm going to show you how the obsession of matching kick and bass to the same key can actually ruin your low end. To demonstrate this, I'm going to use an 808 here, together with a short thumpy kick. Now this kick plays in a higher register than usual. In fact, it's actually a tom sample, but I'm using this so you can hear it much easier, because as you know, it's quite difficult to hear details in the lower frequencies. Both the 808 and the kick are in the key of C. Now let's listen to all of this together. Now let's listen to this again, but this time I'm going to change the pitch of the key back and forth and listen closely to the punch of the low end. The difference is pretty crazy, and what's happening here is that by key matching the kick and the bass together, I completely ruined the low end punch here. This is because of something called phase cancellation, where one sound cancels the other out if they have the same waveform but one of them is inverted. You can look this up further if you want to, but you actually don't have to understand that to be able to hear that this is damaging the punch of your low end drastically. And the exact same thing can happen with the long tonal part at the end of your kick. The bass and the kick can cancel each other out if they are in the same frequency. Now obviously this is a really extreme example here, just stacking kick and bass on top of each other. And in trap, EDM and pop, we use sidechain to make space for the kick to come through. But you never actually sidechain kick and bass so tight that they don't touch at all, because that would sound too robotic. So in most cases, they're touching each other, which means the phase cancellation can actually happen. And to be completely honest with you, this doesn't only happen with key matched kicks. Since the pitch of a kick is constantly falling, it can always cause problems, clashing with the bass and losing the low end punch. Now here comes the last and most important part. The best kicks you hear in music are usually also the shortest kicks. Long kicks create a huge mess because the long tail of it always clashes with the bass. I talk about this in depth in my sound selection masterclass, but going back to what I told you in the beginning, only the end of the kick has a long tonal part that can be identified as the key of the kick. So if you should only use kicks that are really short, or you shorten them yourself, then you're actually working with a sound that doesn't have a key. As I showed you before, most of the kick is constantly falling in pitch. And if you remove the end of it to make it shorter, which you should by the way, there's not much left that can be identified as a key anymore at the end of the kick. And that basically ends the entire discussion of whether you should tune your kicks to the key of your song or not, because the kick you're working with and the kick you should be working with doesn't actually have a key, it's just falling in pitch constantly. Pretty logical, right? So to summarize all of this together, first of all, forget about the key of your kicks. It really doesn't matter. Secondly, try to shorten your kicks to make them cut through the mix better. And third, Try changing the pitch of your key up or down by just like 1 or 2 semitones to see if it actually changes the low end punch of your kick and fits better with the mix. And this is really all you need to know about this. There's no such thing as key matching your kicks to the key of your song, at least in my opinion. What I showed you in today's video is part of my brand new sound selection masterclass that I released last week. I got so many positive messages from producers who already bought it. If you want to grab it, you can find a link in the description below. On top of the masterclass, you will also get a bunch of bonuses. One of them is a 54% discount code on the Hot Stuff drum production suite, which is a pretty crazy deal considering how much it usually costs. You can find a link in the description as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If so, leave a like or comment and we'll see each other in the next video.